Trump is unmasked. The rally crowds are gone. The propaganda trumpets are quiet. He's just a man in the courtroom, falling asleep, unable to stay awake because he's awake all night, worried, fretting, afraid. Donald Trump is a coward and a bully, and he is stripped bare. He is the Wizard of Oz. It is the 17th of April, and there are 202 days remaining until the American people will decide the destiny of the nation with the choice of a lifetime. President Biden and America, or Donald Trump and catastrophe. This is the warning. Donald Trump is in court on trial for business fraud in New York City. He will be there every day that court is in session. The judge has told Donald Trump that if he is a no-show for court, he may spend the duration of the trial in prison. It is a remarkable thing to see Donald Trump stripped bare, naked, defenestrated in this manner as a criminal defendant. The indignity of it is profound. He has been stripped of the accoutrements of his office, the dignity and majesty of it. He has been removed from the artificial terrarium that he has installed himself in as the Sun King of Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump is naked before the American people. He cannot be helped in the present, in the moment, by the propagandists on Fox News. There is no lily to gild when it comes to showing this man falling asleep as a criminal defendant facing 34 counts. Look at his face. It's age, it's bloat, it's decrepitude, the strangeness of his coif. Donald Trump in this moment is no different than Sam Bankman-Fried, another malignant narcissist and eccentric personality with a godlike delusion who thinks he's above the law, beyond consequences. But Donald Trump's act, his performance has always been that he's an authority, he's in control, he's a billionaire, he's a strong leader. But he doesn't look like one while being reprimanded by a Manhattan District Court judge, does he? Let me ask a question. Does Donald Trump look happy in this picture? Does he look like a joyful man? What does anybody suppose happens when he leaves court? Does he bound back into Mar-a-Lago joyfully, ready to make love to his precious Melania? He does not. He leaves the courthouse seething with rage and anger. He's distracted. He goes home and he turns the television on and he listens to his flatterers. They tell him how great everything went. They tell him about the injustice that he's facing. They tell him that he is the savior of man, appointed by God for power. It's all nonsense, but it doesn't fall like that to the sick and addled mind of Donald Trump. He believes it. His anger is real. His rage is real. And so are his circumstances. This is the moment for the Biden campaign, which has been slow and lethargic, to strike, and to strike hard. Where is the effort, either through the campaign or outside of it, to strike at Donald Trump right now in the moment? Everybody knows where he is at all times, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everybody knows exactly what he watches. He watches the Golf Channel and ESPN and CNN and Morning Joe and MSNBC. He watches the stations that talk about him. Where are the ads mocking him, cutting him, humiliating him? Where are the efforts aimed at destabilizing him, the people around him? Where are the ads aimed at pitting infighting. Where are the ads aimed at Donald Trump's ego? There are none. And that's a missed opportunity, because right now, for the first time in a long while, President Biden has the momentum in a race that he is winning. If the election were tomorrow, Joe Biden would likely win. But it's not tomorrow. It's in 202 days. And when the opportunity comes to score points. It must be taken. We live in an era where there is profound distrust between institutions, particularly the media, and the American people. We live in an era where the American people are distracted and busy, and the truth of the matter is they don't look at Joe Biden and see FDR. They see an 82-year-old man, and they don't like the choice. They don't like the choice at hand between him and Trump, but it is the choice. And that choice is a profound one, because there is a startling difference. Joe Biden believes in America and Donald Trump does not. Joe Biden believes in democracy and Donald Trump does not. Joe Biden believes that power should be apportioned after the outcome of an election. Donald Trump believes power is something to be seized, to be taken. Joe Biden believes he is a servant of the American people. Donald Trump wishes to be their master. There has never been a bigger choice in an American election. Never. The consequences are at least as significant as they were in 1864, which was an election that determined whether the United States would survive as a nation. What catastrophe awaits should Donald Trump become president again? Are there people who believe that he will mellow out, that he will abandon his impulses for retribution and revenge when he is flush with victory? Are there those amongst us so naive to believe that Donald Trump's legacy, if he gets back into power, is something that is already written as opposed to something that's not yet known? Meaning, whatever it is that he has done already will be of absolute insignificance compared to what lies ahead. The completion of his work, the totality of his wreckage. What Donald Trump is and will be remembered for are two different things. What he is today is one thing. What he would become with power again is quite another. The future of the country is very much dependent in the space around the answer to that outcome. Right at the edge of the 250th anniversary of the independence of the country. It is a most remarkable moment. Donald Trump faces 4 criminal trials. And the simple political fact is that in the run-up to all of them, he has been benefited by them, by the overreach of the prosecutors and their ethical lapses. But now he is in a courtroom, in a country where the rule of law is supreme. Donald Trump is a criminal defendant. And we're not used to seeing a former president as a criminal defendant, because a former president of the United States is a big figure. They led the most powerful nation in all the world. And all of the men who have had the honor, they did their best to uphold their oaths. Each of them had convictions and made mistakes and had achievements. But none ever dared to try to burn it all down because they didn't get their way. Maybe it's not even possible that such a thing could even have happened in this country before this era of instantaneous connection and global internet and iPhones and social media. We'll never know. But we have arrived at a moment where there is a president unlike all of the others. The seditious president, the treasonous president, the one who does not believe, does not share our faith, the faith of our fathers and our mothers, the faith and the belief in human potential through liberty and freedom that is ordained by a higher power, but protected by the Constitution of the United States, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, that shall not perish from this earth. Those are Lincoln's words at the place he went to reconsecrate the meaning of the country, Gettysburg. He talked about the last full measure of devotion there. And you compare that today to this moment, the buffoonery, the clownishness of this angry, bloated, obese old man walking through a courtroom door enraged because his fraud has been accused. And now he stands trial. A jury of his peers in New York City who will swear an oath to the Constitution, to the truth, to their duty as citizens. A different oath than the one that Trump wrote, but an oath now that is tied deeply to whether Trump will be incarcerated or not. A jury of 12 Americans, men and women, will hear the evidence and decide. But politically, for the first time in a long time, Trump is unmasked. The rally crowds are gone. The propaganda trumpets are quiet. He's just a man in the courtroom, falling asleep, unable to stay awake because he's awake all night, worried, fretting, afraid. Donald Trump is a coward and a bully. And he is stripped bare. He is the Wizard of Oz. Unmasked. His screen has been taken away. Whatever the jury verdict might be, one thing is clear. Donald Trump looks a lot smaller than he did just 3 days ago. Thank you for listening to my political commentary. If you like what you heard today, please also consider subscribing to the Warning daily newsletter on Substack.